This is the motor switch position and information card, which I've downloaded from the web, and I'm now going to trim it. It belongs inside the cabinet near the motor switch, and there wasn't one partly because the cabinet was from a different game. So I'm pleased to have found that. There we are, ready to go in. And there we are. That's in there. With regard to the rubbers, you may have noticed that they're not all new. You can see the difference here between the new white one on the flipper and this rather yellowed one. And I can probably get some of the dirt off of the ones that aren't new. I just found them in my stock. The thing is, we had a rubber kit for this machine, but there's only about a quarter of it there. So I don't know what happened there. David, did you use them on another machine? Anyway, it's not worth buying another whole kit, so I'll try and work out which ones need to be replaced, and then we can decide if we're going to do that. Okay, I'm in the back box, and I've just spotted this relay F, which is the replay relay. If I manually wiggle that, two switches are closing, and that switch on the right can't because the contact leaf isn't in the right slot, seems to me. See what we can do about that. Well, I've tweaked that into position. Should be making and breaking okay now. So what happens when I switch the game on? Well, no difference I can tell playing the game, except that when I operate this manually, that sounds like the knocker going, does it not? The credit counter has gone up from 3 to 5, but it's not giving extra credits each time the knocker goes. So something's starting to move here. When I manually operate that relay, give it a tug, the game credit wheel turns to the next credit. But it's only happening when I give it quite a solid shove. I'm fairly sure that the reason that the credit isn't advancing every time, only when I give the unit a pretty hard tweak, is the gap on the right hand switch is too wide, and so it only makes when I really push the plastic operating grid quite hard. So I'm going to reduce that gap slightly, see if that works. Well, I've done that, and yes, it does work. So that's now giving a credit every time, along with the thumper. But it's only happening, I think, when I'm operating that manually. And that might be to do with the cut wires that we've got to get back to now. Well, one other thing's happened, which is when I push the score past 999, the 1000 lamp was eliminated, and that only seemed to happen once before, sort of randomly. Inside the back box again, it's time for labels. That's the reproduction I've made of the lower label on that side, but there should be one up here. I'm trying to find out what it said and try to make a reproduction. I found a photograph of this one on the web, so that was comparatively easy. A to B, C to D, make sure I don't get mixed up. The new 1 amp slow blow fuses has arrived, so need to get that one in now. There's a 3 amp in there at present, which isn't good, so that's coming out. And the fuse holder's broken. Oh, so I'll take that out and fix it. I've put the 1 amp in temporarily before I fix the fuse holder, just so we can get things moving here. Here's the new instruction card, that was completely missing. I found this online and printed it out on a slightly off-white paper. Now this panel here doesn't yet have the numbers for replays, but the whole panel will cut out, and then when I discover what those numbers are, we can put a new panel in underneath with the numbers on. So I think that looks pretty good.